So this is my project level, okay, where I will create, where you will going to have, while clicking on the right click, you will have this gray folder. Okay, so everything is color defined in the Tosca. You will see, you will get to know just by looking into it what it colors defined. Okay, what is the functionality of the particular area. Just by looking into the certain things, you will get to know what it will do. Okay, so let's say I want to create a folder for this particular project. Okay, for this particular training. Okay, I am creating a component folder. This is known as the component folder, which will going to have why it is called as the component folder is it will going to have the components of the Tosca. We will see it later. Okay, the components of the Tosca separately from the other projects into this folder. Okay, so this will be a first step to create a component folder. Okay, this is your component folder. I'm just pinning it on the tab. Okay, I'm just renaming this as batch. Okay, this is your separate folder now of this particular training. Okay, now I will tell you what all components we have in the Tosca, which will define the software testing lifecycle. Okay, this is your particular component folder. Now you have the components of it. Now first we will go, what is our system software testing lifecycle? What is our first phase is requirement gathering, right? We need to gather the requirement, we need to design the system, we need to develop our system, we need to test our system, and then we need to maintain and we need to retest our system. This is our software testing lifecycle, right? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you all know about this, right? This is our software testing lifecycle. So how you will consider everything into the Tosca is, first you have created your project. Okay, here this is your workspace, this is your work area. In the component folder you will going to work, right? Now when you right click on it, you will see there is a requirement folder. Okay, create requirement folder. This is our first phase of software testing. Okay, so this is the component folder is of gray color, the requirement folder is of yellow color. Okay, here you will going to maintain whatever the requirement you are maintaining. Let's say any of the test data management tool. Okay, and the testing tool, the test management tool. Let's say it is ALM and it is test foundation, it is Jira, and wherever you are maintaining your requirements, it will cover that. Okay, so this consists like whatever comes from your business, and you are maintaining that particular requirement in this folder. Okay, we will going to learn this about this because we are not having any certain requirements. We are on the learning phase. Okay, so we will going to learn definitely how to work with the requirement. Okay, before that we will learn how to create the test cases and everything. Okay, so I'm just telling you how the Tosca is designed. Okay, which will cover the all software testing lifecycle. Okay, so this is the first phase of our software testing lifecycle is the requirements. Okay, now the second phase comes as the system design. Okay, so for that system design, we have a module folder which will going to have in the orange color. Okay, so what is the modules? Okay, so what is the module folder then? So modules is where we will design our system. Okay, where we will get the objects from the page where we need to work. Okay, let's say we need to work on the register, login, shopping cart, wish list. These are the objects we will going to have and we will cover in the module section. So modules are the nothing but the collection of elements. Okay, the collection of attributes, you can say. This is called as the modules, which we will going to create. So like we have like in the script based or in the script based language, we have what is the classes? Class is the collection of object. Okay, so here we have the modules is the collection of object. what we're going to use in our automation test cases. Okay, so this will consist the system design where we will design our modules, where we will get the elements out of the page into the modules. Okay, and then we will reuse it into our test automation. Okay, so you're getting my point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is our module section, which is the system design phase. Now the third phase comes as development. Okay, when it comes to the software development lifecycle, it is a coding phase. We will start the coding. We will make the we will start coding, developing our application. And when it comes to the testing side, it is the development phase of the test automation when we are working on the automation. Okay, so that particular phase comes under the blue folder, which is the test case folder. Okay, so whatever the modules, whatever the classes, let's say we have created into the module section, we will going to reuse in the test case to create the test steps of a particular flow. Getting my point? Okay, so the test case is, you all know what is the test case, is a set of certain flow. Okay, test case is a set of certain flow which we need to test. Okay, so the steps, the test steps is the flow steps which we are testing. Okay, that particular test step will come from the modules. Okay, the steps, the system, how we are designing the system, we will reuse it in development. Getting my point? Hello?
Sir, could you please explain from which folder you got test cases, this particular folder?
See, like just take it as an example. Okay, in the module section, let's say we have a mouse. Okay, and we have the scroll, we have the scroller. Okay, we have the top of the part of the mouse. Okay, we have the bottom part. So we need to design a mouse. Okay, into our system. Okay, so what we will do in the module section, we will first create, let's say, three we will create three modules. Let's say first is scroller. Okay, this is, we'll take it as a top part. Okay, and then we will create the bottom part. Okay, we are designing our, or like we are working on the mouse creation. Okay, we are working on the development of a mouse. Okay, on which we need to work. So we are creating the modules out of which we will going to use, right? So this is, one is
Yes,
for
sir.
laser. This is the laser mouse, and this is for what was that, like which has the ball on the below of that, right? So this is the designing of this is the different components of a particular mouse which we will going to create. Okay, so this is how we have designed our system. Okay, now let's say you have a test case. First test case is to create a laser mouse. Okay, then there is a test case, create a baller mouse. Okay, and you have designed a whole system which you can reuse it in those two test cases. One is creating the laser mouse and one is creating the baller mouse. Okay, so what you will going to use, let's say the scroller is common for all, top part, bottom part is common for all. Okay, and for the laser mouse we need to use the laser. This we have defined the classes, this we have defined the modules. Okay, so we will use this into our test case as this. Okay, this is how the laser mouse will develop. And for the baller mouse, we will escape this, and we will use the, instead of that, we will use this. So this is how we have developed the baller mouse. Okay. So out of the modules, you have reused it. Like one is for the laser mouse and one is for the baller mouse. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is how the similar way you will design the modules out of the application, where you will get the elements, let's say register, login, shopping cart, wish list, and everything present on the screen. Okay. Then you will going to reuse it in the test case. In the test case is the set of flow according to your requirement. Let's say you need to click on first flow, you need to click on login, and you just need to verify if the login button is appear or not. Okay, here you are using the register also, and you are using the login also. Okay, you will go to home page. Then there is a second scenario where you will say click on the login and put the email and password. Okay, and then login. This is the second flow. Okay, but you have created a single module out of it, which consists the login also. Okay, and second module is which will consist the whole of this part, email, password, and login. Okay, the module is same, but the functionality is different. Getting my point? Like that, we have the same modules of this, how to create a mouse, and we have the different scenarios, which mouse you want to create. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is how we will going to use the system design and the system development phase of the software testing lifecycle. Okay. Then there is a system testing comes into the picture. So how you will define it in the Tosca, like you have defined the designing in the orange, requirement in the yellow folder, the development in the automation script development in the blue folder, test case. Okay, then it comes like green folder as the execution folder. Okay, this is the folder where whatever you have created into this test case section, okay, in the automated test case, you will going to reuse in the execution folder. Okay, to create the logs, whatever you have developed, okay, you need to maintain a logs, right? Whatever you have executed is passed successfully or not. Okay, like yesterday I have executed something, but today it is failing, but I want to check why it was passing yesterday and why it is failing today. So we need to maintain logs, right? So this is how we are maintaining our test cases. Okay, and we are retesting our test cases according to the execution log. Whatever we have developed is working correct or not. Got my point?
Yes, sir. Sir, is there any place in Tosca also where we can see total number of test cases passed, failed? Like if we want to take the status report for any particular project at the end of the
Yes.
day, so is there any place or module that is there in Tosca?
Yes. So this section, like what I'm telling you, to maintain the logs. Okay. This is the only section where you will going to maintain the logs, as you are asking. You want to maintain the logs, you need to get the report out of it, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the section. Let's say I have created two test cases. Okay. I want to maintain the logs of the execution. This. Okay. I'll use this and I'll execute this. And after that, after the execution, you can print the report and you can get the report out of it, what you are seeing.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, sir.
So that particular section will help us to maintain our application. Okay, and to give us the leverage to retest our application according to the failure and according to the passing percentage.
Okay,
Right, you will get all of the logs from here.
okay, sir.
I think someone has my voice is echoing. Okay, so this all four sections we have for like to get the all software testing life cycle, and how we are maintaining the test management into the Tosca by creating the test cases, executing the test cases, getting the requirements, and designing our particular application, right? So now you have heard about like the behavior driven development, okay? Then there is a test driven development and everything, okay? So we can get that also in the Tosca. So let's say the test driven development. In the test driven development, what we have a certain flow, okay? Let's say we have the login functionality where you need to click on the login, okay? You need to fill the email address and password and login with some, let's say 10 users, 10 set of user. You want to check the login functionality. Let's say one is for admin user. So there are three admins, okay? Three general users and three are the other users, okay? So three test cases will execute with the admin users, which are just different admins and different. They will going to see the different page style according to the login. Okay. So let's say we know the admin functionality. How if the admin will come into the picture, okay, admin will click on the certain application, and the certain application we are testing, he has the rights to see more of the page, okay, what is hidden for the general user, right? So he can manipulate the things from that user, okay, he can get the more access with the particular user rights. So this we need to test it. Let's say we need to test the same flow. We are testing the same flow of login a certain user, but we are testing it for three for the admin user, three for general user, and three for other users. So this is the test driven development where you are testing a certain flow, okay, certain test cases with different set of test data. Okay. So this we can achieve in the Tosca using there is a fifth folder as test case design folder, where you will create the test sheets. Okay, out of the test sheets you will get the data, like you can link it with a certain flow, okay, where you can provide the certain amount of test data which you need to test for the same set of flow. That we will going to cover it later on in detail. Okay, how you can achieve the test driven development using the Tosca, right? So this is how this will cover the whole software testing life cycle, including the test driven development. Okay, so we all are performing the API testing also to achieve the shift left testing. Okay, so what is shift left testing is we are ready with the testing before the application comes into the picture as per the business requirement, right? Let's say the API has a certain functionality of a particular UI. Okay, let's say this is our application where the web page is not coming and look and feel is not here. We have certain APIs which will hit the email by putting the email and password, which will hit a request, and you will get the response that user it successfully logged in. Okay, so before coming into the picture, we are ready with the API testing. That also we will going to cover in the Tosca automation later on in the class. After getting the knowledge of each and everything, we will going to test the API testing, which we can perform using the Tosca. Okay. So this is all about the Tosca and what we will going to use and how we will going to use the different phases. So when you go and right click on each and every folder, you will see different functionality, okay, according to the folder. So in our class, what we will going to follow is first is system design. Then we will follow application development, which is, you can say, test development. Okay, this flow we will going to cover. This is how we will go. First we will design the system, then we will design the test, and then we will maintain and retest our application. So what comes under that? I told you. What comes under the system design is, can you anyone please tell me? Hello? Yeah, so in the system design, the module creation will come. As I said, okay. The test development, what will come?
Test cases, test case design.
Yes, test case and test case design. Okay, and in the maintenance and
So
retest.
requirements folder will be coming under which one?
So as I said, requirement is
System
the
design or test?
no, no requirement gathering is the first phase of software testing, right? So it always
Yes,
comes first. But how we will go?
in
We
system design.
see. Yes, we will go with the module
Okay, sir.
creation, system design, test development because we don't have certain requirements to test the application right now, right? So we will
Yes.
learn about it how to create the system requirement later on after creating the module creation, test development, and how we can maintain this into the and we can link it with to the requirement,
Okay, sir.
right? So this is the test case and test case design we'll cover, and then there is phase comes maintain comes into the execution where we will execute and maintain our logs. So this is the flow which we will follow in our automation. Okay. So for the installation and license, I'll give you the separate links to register and to download the application first. Okay. So before that, we'll go with the types of scan and the module section, how we can create and how we can use the system design. Okay, so let's delete this. And the test cases we have created for this. Okay, so this is the module section and the system design section where we will create our modules. Okay, so there are two types of scanner, you can say there are two types of scanner. One is old scanner and the second one is new scanner. Okay, so you can say the old one is like, you can say you can differentiate with the old machine and new machine. New machine has new features. Okay, it can scan the whole file in one go and create a single document. I'm just giving an example. And in the old scanner and the old machine, you will just create a one document at a time and you can create a single file of that. Okay, so we have different scanning options. Okay, we have different machines for different documents, let's say. Okay, so this modules, when you right click on it, you will see the option of scanning in the scans. And when you go to the scan, okay, so you will see different functionality according to the folder. When you right click on the requirement, you will see the requirement related functionality. When you click on the test case, you will see the test case related functionality and how you will see that, okay, in the execution and everything. Like for the module creation, when you right click, you will see module related functionality where you need to scan your application. Okay, so you can see here, this is the scan comes into the picture, and these many methods we have for the scanning: the application scan, the API scan, the mobile scan, PDF scan, the host scan, WebDriver, Salesforce file, and legacy scan. Okay, so I told you about there are two types of scanning method. Okay, so you can this is the application is the new scanning method. Okay, which includes the T-box scan, which we known as the T-box and X scan, which uses the new you can say new version of a particular software. Okay, new engine of the application scan, which will scan the application more thoroughly and which will provide you the leverage to work more efficiently on the application. Okay, so we will going to use the T-box scan only while we are working on the Tosca automation. And the other scanning method is, this is the last one, is the legacy scan. So legacy is the old scan. It has not even debugged yet because some of the application who are using the old Tosca version, okay, after the 10th version of the Tosca, the new scanning and the T-box scan comes into the picture. This is the legacy scan, what it was working previously. Okay, it has not yet divided and we are not using it, and we are constantly and slowly moving our old scanning method, whatever we have created there, to the new scanning method, what we need to use it right now. Okay, then there is a different Salesforce engine, and there are some different engine it use to scan let's say some different you can say pages and documents you need to scan on a certain machine. So you require, let's say for the big page, okay, you want to scan the whole page, so you need a separate machine, and it has a separate functionality. Like that, we have these many options. Let's say for the mobile scanning, you need to have a different engine, you need to have a different machine. So this is how you need to scan the mobile, and this is for the API, which we're going to cover. Okay, so this many options we have to scan a certain application. So first we will go with the application scan. Is this application we need to scan, right? So we will go with the application scan first. By right clicking into it, you will see the scan and you need to select the application. It will start the scanner. Okay, and as I said, this supports more than 120 platform and application to work on. Whatever is opened on our system, it is giving us the option which you need to test, which is your system under test and the application you will going to test. Okay, so as we have opened our system under test is demo web shop. Okay, this. So we will going to select the demo web shop instead of any other application. You can see here in the select application dialog box. Okay, so this is a web page, and Tosca is a desktop application. Okay, so to initiate the communication between the desktop application to the web application, we need to initiate the communication. Okay, so how to initiate the communication between those two applications? One is the desktop and web-based application. Is we need to have something common between them, right? Like if I want to make a communication to you, I need something common between you and me is, let's say, cell phone. You also have cell phone, I also have cell phone. Okay, then only I will be able to communicate to you. Okay, so here, let's say the desktop application needs something which will communicate to the web-based application is the extension we have. Okay, the Chrome extension we have for the different browser, we have different extension to communicate the Tosca with the application. So when you select this application and you click on the scan, okay, you will see first option is, in order to scan record Chrome, you need to install Tosca Automation extension. Okay, then I click on yes. it will redirect me to the page where it has the Chrome extension. Okay, you just need to add to the Chrome the particular extension and it will add the extension. So let's cover this. Okay, this has added certain extension and now it has started scanning the application. Okay, now you see it has scanned the application.
So sorry to interrupt, sir. Select application option that you chose from the starting. From where to click on that select application, sir?
Yeah, just a second. Let me do it again. Okay, you go to the module, right click on the scan, and you will select the application. Right. When you click on it, a scanner will come. Okay, the scanner is coming. Now it is giving us the option to select the application. When I hover into it, it will highlight the certain application.
Okay,
Right.
got it.
Yeah,
Yes.
then I will select this application. This application I need to work on, and then I will click on the scan. This will start scanning my application. Let's say I have scanned a certain page on my machine, on my scanning machine. Okay, now it gives me the option of the page and the text, whatever is there on the page, into a window on my computer. Okay, whatever I have scanned. Then I need to select if all pages are scanned are correct. Then I will choose those pages and I will save those pages. While we just go and scan a normal page on a photocopy machine, right? Like that, it has scanned the whole page of the application with the elements coming. You can see there is a list of elements coming into this dialog box. Okay, there is a list of element coming which has the login, register, and everything you can see on the screen. Okay, coming as a list of
Yes,
elements
sir.
in this box. Okay, these many elements we have. So it has give you the leverage to now work on the elements you want to select. Okay, so let me tell you before that about this window. Okay, how what it contains and how need to work on that. So this box will contain the list of elements we have on a page and the system under test.
So
Right.
I want to ask one question, sir, here. Sir,
Yeah.
is everything, all the elements on that web page getting scanned on this particular platform, or is there any limitation also that some element will not be scanned or anything like that for this
No,
particular application?
there is no limitation. Whatever is there on the page, it will scan and it will come up to you.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So yeah, you will see when you go on this application and click on the inspect, right click on the application, web application, and click on this inspect, you will see this is the structure of the whole application. Okay, it is not missing anything what is there on the screen. Can you see
Okay.
that?
Yes, sir, yes.
So this is how it scanned the whole application and get each and every element what is present on the screen. When you
Okay.
click on anywhere, okay, you will see a particular thing related to that. Okay, this is how you can get the structure of the whole page. Okay, So this is how it scanned the whole application using then getting the certain elements present on the screen. So this particular box contains the list of element we have on the screen. These many elements we have. Okay, there are multiple elements. Apart from that, I'll tell you how to get that. So these are the elements which is clearly visible on the screen. This. Okay. Let's say this is also the element which is coming after mouse over, right? Camera and photo and cell phone, like that. It is not coming on the screen on the home page like that. We need to mouse over and then we will be able to see the camera, photos and cell phone, right? So this window will contain the list of element what is visible on the screen. Now this section, this is like the property section of the elements you are getting here. When you click on any element, let's say this, it will give you the property of this particular element, the list of property it has, like how it has developed, the color combination, the links and everything, class name, properties, inner text, everything you will get it here in the identify by properties. Okay, so this window will contain the properties of the element you are selecting here. It will always change according to your selection. These properties. Okay. Now we will come up with this. This is the condense part. So what condense will do? So you are selecting certain applications. Let's say this is the list of application we have. Okay. But you don't want to search the whole page, like scrolling down and up and getting your elements and finding your elements. You don't want to do that. So you want, like, when you click on the select on a screen, it gives us the functionality to select your application or whatever you want to test just by clicking on it. When I click on select, I will be able to get the elements just by clicking on it. You can see, right? Now my mouse has converted into the select on screen mode, where I can see the elements. Let's say this element I want to get it. I can just get it by clicking on it. Right. So these elements, whatever I have selected, will come into the picture now. Got my point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Condensed means whole application, sir.
No. Let me
Yes.
tell you about the condense. I just told you the select on screen. And what is the meaning of condense? I'll tell you now.
Okay.
Okay, so when you select on the screen, this gives us the leverage to select the element on the screen. Okay, but what about the elements which is coming behind this screen, this Tosca screen? You will not be able to select until and unless this will remove. So one way is, if you minimize this, it will disappear. It will disappear and you will be able to select the elements coming behind the screen. Okay. But and the same function the condense will do. It will condense your the window. Okay, it will condense your window into just two functions, and you can select the elements behind the screen. Okay, so what is the use of condense when we can do the same thing using the minimize? Okay, so the thing is, when you minimize while selecting on screen, when you use minimize, okay, the cursor converted into the selection mode. Okay, it is not performing any click anywhere now. Okay, it is just selecting the application. Okay, the same way it got converted while you do the inspect element in the local machine. You use this. Okay, select an element. Now the mouse will convert into the selection mode of element, not on the clicking mode. Okay, Now if you deselect, then it will click on the, it will work like a click mode operation. The same way, Tosca converts the select on screen mode into the selection mode instead of clicking mode. So when you minimize it, this window also comes under the selection mode, not the clicking mode. So when you click on it, it will not open the window. When you will not be able to open the window, you will not be able to save your module. Okay. So to get the rid of this issue, you need to press escape. Okay, then it will release the select on screen, then you will be able to open. So to avoid this part, we have condense, which will minimize the application and give us the leverage to select and select this also while selecting our elements. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yeah. So yeah, let's make this session interactive. Just keep your mics on if it is not disturbing anyone. Okay, and make it interactive. So this is, I am selecting the elements on the screen. Okay, and these elements I have selected, and I can see the properties here on the right hand side. So this, the condense and the select on the screen will work. Okay, now after selecting any elements, you need to make the certain elements uniquely identifiable. Okay, now the question comes, what is the meaning of uniquely identifiable? Okay, so let's say I want to come to you. Okay, so I want to come to you, and I come to your office, and I want to call your name. Okay, so how I will call you? How I will identify that you are the person I am searching for? Okay, so your first identity is your name. Okay, you have your unique name. So let's say what all students we have here is let's say Soumya. I want to come to Soumya, and I want to call the Soumya, and your first identity is your name. So when I come to your office, I can say, I can just call Soumya and you will come. If there is only one Soumya in your office, okay. And let's say you have multiple Soumya on your office, and I want to call, and if I just call one name Soumya, both of you will come. Okay, so the same thing will happen here. When I want to call the register on this particular page, I want to make this uniquely identifiable. I want to give a certain identity is unique. So whenever I call this register, only the register will come into the picture to work on, right? So let's say you have two Soumya. Okay, now when I'm calling with the name, both of them are coming. So it is not solving my purpose. So I know now what is the name of the Soumya and the employee ID also. When I say the Soumya with employee ID 1 will come, so only that Soumya will come which has the employee ID as 1. And when I call the 2, the second Soumya will come. Okay, so this is how the same element has some different technical properties you can see, and it chooses, the Tosca chooses first identification part is identified by properties. Okay, so here you will see there is an inner text which considered as a name. Okay, now we have a name, and in the whole page there is only one register. Okay, if you deselect this name, then you will see this particular element is highlighted into yellow. Now this yellow part defines that there is, if I call the register, there is no register in the office. Okay, the register is not hearing what I'm calling. Okay, so it is highlighted into the yellow, and you will see in the down bottom the selected item is not unique. Okay, so to make it unique, okay, we need to give a certain name of the particular element. Let's say I am giving a name as inner text, selecting a name as inner text. Now you can see the selected item is coming as unique. That is how I need to make all the elements I need to work on as unique. Okay, so some has some different properties. Let's say you have some employee ID, and let's say if it is not employee ID, you are just sitting in a classroom, and I want to call you, and you have a name. With the name you have your PAN card. With the name you have your Aadhaar card, and like that you have different identification properties which will make you unique if you choose any one of them, and you can choose the combinations of them. Okay, let's say name and your Aadhaar number, name and your PAN card, okay, and your Aadhaar number and your PAN card, like that. So this is how I need to make my elements unique on the page. So whenever I use that particular element while doing the automation, I will be able to call a certain element only. Okay, and my application and automation should work accordingly. So by default, the first identification method of the Tosca uses is identify by properties. Okay, the IDs, class name, inner text, and there are so many technical properties in which you can choose any one of them, which will make this item unique. Let's say this apparel is coming as not unique. Okay, so the name, we have two apparels on a page. Okay, we have the this link, the apparels and shoes is not making this unique. It means there are two person in the classroom with the same name. Okay, if I want to make it unique, I need to choose some other properties also. Okay, let's say outer text. Okay, if it is not making this unique, we will choose another property. Let's say visible outer text. This is also not making it unique. We will choose the link. This is also not unique. Then we will choose like that the other properties of the particular element. Okay, so let's say this. If this is making it unique, this will make it unique. Okay, if not all these properties, this will make it unique. So we can choose this property to make it unique. Okay, like that, the same thing, there are two digital downloads on the same page. Okay, all this property is not making it unique. If we select even everything is considered as same. Now if we select this is considering as unique. I know the direction where this particular digital download is sitting in a classroom. I can directly go into that. Okay, this is the way. So this is the first way and the one way to make the identify and to make the element unique. So Tosca provides this new engine provide many different ways to make this unique. Okay, so this is identify by property, which is by default, and you can, when you click on the identify by, you will see 4 different ways: identify by anchor, identify by image, and identify by index. Okay, so this all 4 ways we have, which will make a certain element unique in some different ways. If let's say this particular apparel and shoes sitting on a classroom, it doesn't have there are two apparels and shoes in the classroom, it does not have even the PAN card, Aadhaar card, employee ID, nothing. So how I will make this unique? There are different ways. Let's say I will ask the class teacher, I will class your manager, who is the apparel and shoes I want. So my manager, your manager will tell me this is the one you are looking for. So like that only, these are the ways by which we can make our element unique in our system, right? So this is all about the scanning, the other elements, the other tools we will use according to our as we will work on it. We will see how these all differentiates and works. Okay, so like you have asked, Soumya, only these elements are coming which are present on the screen. Okay, let's say I want to see what is coming after that. So how to get all those elements is we have this filter for that. Okay, So this filter has the level of filters. You can see this tick marks. Okay. When you select the level 1, it will show me the level 1 of elements, whatever is there on the present on the screen. Now if I select, let's say level 2, it will give us the more detail of the application. Let's say this one. In the computer you can see desktop. Now you can see the desktop also here as an element. When I see the level 2 of elements, some of element is not even visible. We can see the level 3. Here you will see these elements like the containers, the list, and everything which is not coming on the screen. You cannot see that. And there is a level 4 where you will see all the possible elements coming on the page and how it has developed, including the tags. Okay, you can see here each and everything is coming in detail. Like in this tag is coming, and in this tag the desktop is coming. You will see it in the level 4. So that is how you can define the level and you can get the elements out of the page from here. So this is my level 0 where I have selected the elements, only those elements are coming. Right. So this is all about the window what we have, and whatever we will go and select this application and select this element, we will save it and we will create the module out of it. Okay, you will see it here in the demo web shop. The module has created with the elements we have selected for a certain functionality. So now this module is saying as it has the collection of elements I need to work on. Okay, so let's give this name as a home page link. So this module will contain the elements of the home pages only. Got my point? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is how we are creating the modules out of the application, and we are creating like in the different modules we have like different set of elements in a certain module which will use it later on. Okay, so I think this is all I want to tell you about today. So do you have any queries till now?
Sir, once you used the term shift left testing. So can you please tell what is shift left testing?
Yeah, just a second. So shift left testing is, let's say you are in the requirement phase. Okay, you are in the first phase of requirement where you are getting the requirements from the business. This is how the application will develop, and this we need to test. Okay, on the first setting you are just discussing the requirements and you are getting the requirements. Okay, so before the application got developed, okay, the application got developed on the APIs. Okay, on the APIs, APIs is the skeleton of a particular application, and on that skeleton, the web page and the look and feel is the skin, we can say. Okay, so let's say I want to test the UI. Okay, so before that, if I can have the API, I can at least test the functionality using the API service, as if I'm able to click on the I'm able to register a certain user or not. This is just a UI. This is nothing else. This is just the HTML page which consists the API of a certain functionality. Behind that API is the skeleton, okay, which we need to test. So before that the skin comes into the picture, we will test like if a certain structure is perfectly working fine or not. If it is not breaked from somewhere else, okay, let's say you have a structure of a chair. Okay, later on you will going to cover it with a certain cover. Okay, you have used the same structure of the chair. Someone has using the same structure of a chair. You want to cover it in a green color, someone wants to cover it with the red color. Okay, so before that skin will come into the picture, then we will test if it is looking like that only what we are expecting. Okay, the whole structure is correct or not. Okay, all the four legs we have stable or not. We will test it in the structure only. We don't need the cover for that, right? So we will test it before the whole chair comes up into the picture with the cover and suitable for our location. Okay, so we are shifting our testing left. Okay, we are shifting our testing beforehand, before the application, the whole application comes into the picture. Getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, so this is what the shift left testing is, when we are shifting our testing on the left phase of the whole testing process, when we are ready with the functionality testing before the actual application comes into the picture. We will be ready with the API testing, like if this mail we are able to select this. When we send this request in the API by filling into this attribute, we are clicking on the register, my response will come into the API, you are successfully registered. Okay, I'm testing the functionality beforehand. Then the UI comes into the picture, I'll be ready with the testing. Like I have already tested this, I just need to test if it is placed right on the right place or not. If I'm clicking on the register, it should click on the register, not on the login. This I need to test only when the UI comes into the picture. So this is what we achieve in the shift left testing. And there is another way when we can shift left to the testing of the API also. Beforehand of API, we can create a virtual environment for the API. We can shift left that process also. So this is all about the shift left testing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other queries?
Sir, by using Tosca, can we test at a time on different browsers?
Yes. We can test the cross browser testing. We can achieve the cross browser testing. I'll tell you how. Okay, like the extension we have included in the Chrome, we have the extension from the browser, the Internet Explorer also, and some other browser we usually use. We have the extension for that, and by using that, you can use the cross browser testing by differentiating one test case into the multiple execution list. It is possible. Hello.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Can you once again show me the select on and the difference?
Yes. This I'm selecting on. I'm selecting an application. Okay, when I click on select on screen, this converted into the selection mode. Now I'm condensing it. You can select the elements you want to test. Let's say these many elements should come under the category. Okay, not this. I got selected this. Okay, these elements. I will make this unique later on. Okay, if you want to make it unique, I'll just save it. And you can see after did you get it, the select on screen? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so after selecting the elements on the screen, when you close this, all the elements you have selected on the categories coming into the module. Okay, you can rename this as a categories.
Categories. Okay.
Okay. So whatever the elements present, whatever the sections we have, let's say I give you an example of the mouse, development of mouse. This is like the category. This is one section. Manufacturer is another section. Newsletter. This everything has a different separate sections. So this is how we are designing our. This is how we will going to design our module section, and we will going to reuse it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other queries? Okay, so I think this is
Extensions are like basically web drivers, no sir?
yes. So what we use in like the other web drivers in the other script-based automation, you must have heard about it. So these are the drivers to communicate, to initiate the communication between the rich client application, which is the desktop application, with the web application. Okay, so it is not required for each and every application and every platform. Let's say you have a Salesforce application, you have a SAP application. It has already a separate engine into the Tosca. You can see like this, the mobile engine, it has PDF engine. So you don't need the extension for that. It has developed in such a way it will get the elements from them.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is it for today. Okay, I'll share the link of download and everything on. I'll ask your contact details with the team. Okay, I'll share it
So
with you.
what we gonna do it, Sumit, this is Rupali here. We will be creating their WhatsApp group.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that we
So
need to
that,
do.
all right. So and over there, Sumit can share the link so that you can get the installation done. And then in the full-fledged manner, we can start it from the next Saturday so that everybody will have
Yes.
the
Yes.
like setup, and you can simultaneously do the practice when the trainer is giving you some scenarios.
Yeah, exactly. So this is how we will go.
One question, Sumit. So the question is, Tosca is like, the license is for a 17 days period, right? So how to get it done? Because by the
No,
time next
it
Saturday
is
we're gonna
for the
start the
30
class.
days now. It is for
Oh,
the 30 days now. Okay, and I'll tell you how to extend your license. Okay, so
okay,
whenever it has completed, and you can get the extension for that for the next 15 to 30 days.
that helps. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Okay.
Any other queries you have, guys?
I wanted to ask, like, if the recordings will be shared with us, so can we download them, or like for future reference, or we can only refer them?
Okay, fine. So I'll give a complete idea. We'll be, creating the WhatsApp group, and we will also allocate one batch coordinator for this from 3RI, so that so this recording will be available in the Skype group immediately once your batch will be over. Basically, Sumit has already started the recording, so Sumit sir will start the recording, and then once he leave the session, the recording will be available in the chat box. Okay, so you can go through the recording. From our side, the coordinator will give this recording on one of the drive, and that drive location will be shared with you all, so that for further future references, if you want that recording, you can get all your classes recording on the Google Drive.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah.